This World is Taboo by Murray Leinster. The little medship came out of overdrive, and the stars were strange, and the Milky Way seemed unfamiliar, which, of course, was because the Milky Way and the local Cepheid star-makers were seen from an unaccustomed angle and a not yet commonplace pattern of varying magnitudes. Calhoun grunted in satisfaction. There was a banded sun off to port, which was good. A breakout at no more than 60 light hours from one's destination wasn't bad in a sector of the galaxy, and after 3 light years of journeying blind. "Rise and shine, Murgatoid," said Calhoun. "Comb your whiskers and get set to astonish the natives." A sleepy, small, shrill voice said, "Chee!" Murgatroyd the Tormel came crawling out of the small cubbyhole which was his own. He blinked at Calhoun. "We're due to land shortly," Calhoun observed. "You will impress the local inhabitants. I will get unpopular. According to the records, there's been no medship inspection here for 12 standard years. And that was practically no inspection to judge from the report." Murgatroyd said, "Chee, chee." He began to make his toilet, first licking his right hand whiskers, and then his left. Then he stood up, shook himself, and looked interestedly at Calhoun. Hormels were companionable small animals. They are charmed when somebody speaks to them. They find great, deep satisfaction in imitating the actions of humans, as parrots and mayas and parakeets imitate human speech. But Tormels have a certain valuable genetically transmitted talents, which make them more valuable than mere companions or pets. Calhoun got a light reading from the banded sun. It could hardly be an accurate measure of distance, but it was a guide. "Hold on to something, Murgatroyd," she said. Murgatroyd watched. He saw Calhoun make certain gestures which presaged discomfort. He popped back into his cubbyhole. Calhoun threw the overdrive switch, and the medship flicked back into the questionable state of being in which velocities of hundreds of times that of light are possible. The sensation of going into overdrive was unpleasant. A moment later, the sensation of coming out was no less so. Calhoun had experienced it often enough and still didn't like it. The sun wheeled, burned huge and terrible in space. It was close now, its disk covered with half a degree of arc. "Very neat," observed Calhoun. "Wheel 3 is on our port, Murgatoid. The plane of the ecliptic would be... She swung the outside electron telescope, picked up a nearby bright object, enlarged its image to show details, and checked it against the local star pilot. She calculated a moment. The distance was too short for even the briefest of overdrive hops, but it would take time to get there on the solar system drive. She thumbed down the communicator button and spoke into the microphone. "Medship Asclepius 20, reporting arrival and asking coordinates for landing," she said matter-of-factly. "Purpose of landing is planetary health inspection. Our mass is 50 tons standard. We should arrive at the landing position in something under 4 hours. Repeat, Medship Asclepius 20. She finished the regular second transmission and made coffee for herself while she waited for an answer. Murgatroyd came out for a cup of coffee himself. Murgatroyd adored coffee. In minutes he had a tiny cup in his furry small paw and sipped gingerly on the hot liquid. A voice came over the communicator. "Repeat your identification." Calhoun went to the control board. "Asclepius 20, she said patiently, "is a medship sent by the Interstellar Medical Service to make a planetary health inspection on Weald. Check with your public health authorities. This is the first medship to visit in 20 standard years, I believe, which is inexcusable. But your health authorities will know all about it. Check with them." The voice said truculently, "What was your last port?" Calhoun named it. This was not her home sector, but Sector 12 had gotten into a very bad situation. Some of its planets had gone unvisited for as long as 20 years, and 12 between inspections was almost commonplace. Other sectors had been called upon to help it catch up. Calhoun was one of the loaded medship people, and because of the emergency, she'd been given a list of half a dozen planets to be inspected, one after the other, instead of reporting back to sector headquarters after each visit. She'd had minor troubles before landing grid operators in Sector 12, so she was very patient. She named the last planet inspected, the one from which she had set out for Weald 3. The voice from the communicator said sharply, "The port before that." Calhoun named the one before last. "Don't drive any closer," said the voice harshly, "or you'll be destroyed." Calhoun said coldly, "Listen, my fine feathered friend. I'm from the Interstellar Medical Service. You get in touch with the Planetary Health Services immediately. Remind them of the Interstellar Medical Inspection Agreement, signed on Tralee 240 standard years ago. Remind them that if they do not cooperate in the medical inspection, that I can put your planet under quarantine, and your space commerce will be cut off like that. No ship will be cleared for Weald from any other planet in the galaxy until there has been a health inspection. Things have gone pretty well to pot so far as the medical service sector is concerned, and it's being straightened up. I'm helping straighten it up. I give you 20 minutes to clear this, then I'm coming in, and if I'm not landed, a quarantine goes on. Tell your health authorities that." Silence. Calhoun clicked off and poured herself another cup of coffee. Margotroyd held out his cup for a refill. Calhoun gave it to him. "I hate to put on an official hat, Margotroyd," she said, annoyed, "but there are some people who demand it. The rule is, never get official if you can help it, but when you must, out-official the official who's officialing you." Margotroyd said, "Gee," and sipped his cup. Calhoun checked the course of the medship. It bore on through space. There were tiny noises from the communicator. There were whisperings and rustlings, and the occasional strange and yet sometimes beautiful musical notes, whose origin was yet obscure, but which, since they were carried by electromagnetic radiation of a wildly varying wavelengths, they were not likely the fabled music of the spheres. In 15 minutes, a different voice came from the speaker. "Medship Asclepius. Medship Asclepius. Sorry about the challenge, but we have blue skin problem always with us. We have to be extremely careful. Will you come in, please?" "On my way," said Calhoun. "The Planetary Health Authorities," said the voice, more anxiously still, "are very anxious to be cooperative. We need med service help. We lose a lot of sleep under the blue skin. Could you tell us the name of the last medship to land here and its inspector, and what inspection was made?" We want to look up a record of the event and be able to assist you in every possible way." "She's lying," Calhoun told Margotteroid. "But she's more scared than hostile." She picked up the order folio on wheel 3. She gave the information about the last medship visit. "What," she asked, "is a blueskin?"